Hello there, I am Kathy Taylor, and today is day 29 of my 30 days of being more intentional about spending time with God. So, I just want to leave you with a quick nugget tonight, and I call it a nugget because it's just a little something, just a little bite sized piece until you can get more. So, I have been thinking about wow. Day 29. Tomorrow is the last day of this, and what have I been thinking about? And do you know the first thing that came to mind was I could have done more. It's like the first thing out of everything that I've done, the first thoughts that came was something kind of negative to say, you could have done this, you could have done that, you could have spent more time here, you wasted time there. And the Holy Spirit said, no, no, no. That's not what this was about. There was a purpose. And of course, there's room for improvement. But there's a purpose. And the purpose was for you to be more intentional. And you have. So just that quick, my thoughts had gotten away from me. So tonight I want to give you a quick nugget about think about what you're thinking about. Um, And because what you think about does expand, what you think about expands. So just like when in that quick second of me thinking, wow, 29 days, what have I accomplished? And it immediately went to the negative side instead of all of the things that I have done, all of the praise reports that I have, all of the things that are going right. That little bit of, yes, I could have spent more time studying, or I could have looked more into that. That's the first thing that came versus all the great things. So that's what I want to encourage you tonight. Think about what you are thinking about. And I want to remind you to set your mind on what God is telling you, not what others, not what people are saying, not even what you're telling yourself. You have to set your mind on what God is telling you. And that's another thing that I thought about tonight, that when I say that, I have to be firm with myself and others so that I am not taking in anything that's not of God. So, I came up with an acronym for SET, because that's what we have to do, set our mind on what who God says we are and what He says we should be doing. So the S is for stop. And stop, of course, means to end, to cease. You want to stop, end, or cease the conversations that lure you away from who God says you are or what He says about you. So anytime those conversations start, then you want to stop that immediately, even if it's mid sentence, even if you're talking to someone else, or even if someone else is speaking negatively or they are saying things, you want to stop that conversation, because when you allow those things to fester on, when you allow, even jokingly, you have to be careful about that, because you are giving the enemy an in. He doesn't know your every thought. But when you confess it out loud, then you allow him in, and it's fair game, right? Well, it shouldn't be right, but it is. So stop. S is for stop. Stop the conversations, stop those thoughts, end it, cease it as soon as possible, as soon as you think about it. The E is for exercise. So when you think about exercise, you think of restraints. Now, most people don't start exercising and they gain muscle, they gain the consistency immediately. It takes time, right? So you have to practice, you have to build on it. And so you want to exercise restraint in saying what the truth is. That means that you have to confess with your mouth. You have to think it, confess it, and follow through with your actions of who does God say you are? And what does He say you're supposed to be doing? So make sure that you are exercising, that you are practicing, that you are you're building muscle, you are building restraint against, so that you are prepared when those thoughts try to overtake, when those negative thoughts try to overtake you. And then the T is for think before you speak. Even jokingly, you have to be careful about the way that you speak about yourself. The Bible tells us to speak life, but in you have to be so cautious about all the things that you are saying, in just like, oh, I'm not this, or I'm too big for that, or I'm this, or I'm that. You have to think about that. You have to think about, before you say it out of your mouth, think about it, and then I'm going to tell you to repeat it. Stop it. And then the only way that you can stop it quicker is by exercising, because by exercising and building that muscle to, by what does the word say? What does God say? Talking to Him, building that relationship with Him, and building that relationship in the Word. That's how you will gain momentum, so that you can think about, not only just think about what you're thinking about, but you can also um, stop stop saying negative things about yourself, or you can turn those conversations around so that it's for your good. All right, so my time is up. I hope you got what I was trying to say, or what I said. So you are going to think about what you're thinking about, and then you are going to set your mind on who and what God says you are. All right. Well, my time is up. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you feel like this helped you, or it can help somebody else, please like and share. And I would appreciate you if you just press the subscribe button. All right. Until tomorrow is day 30. Tomorrow is day 30. Wow. All right. I can't wait to hang out with you again tomorrow. Take care.